Euro USD live Friday the 13th of September 2024 market direction with entry, stop loss, and take profit. Remember, on this very live stream, I'll be having a free giveaway right here. So be sure to stick around as we get into this. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Are you ready to know the direction of the day for the world's most traded forex pair, the Euro USD? You know, this is the world's most traded pair, and you know, go of United States and the Euro or Europe in general. It is one of the biggest transactions, or these are some of the biggest transactions that go on every single day. So for me, the Euro USD is my favorite pair to trade because it's very stable. You know, there's good volatility on there. There's like, it's one of those best pairs that especially for people who are beginners, this is the best pair that I recommend you trade if you're just starting out, because it's very, very stable. There are not so many manipulations that happen on this pair, so it is one of those very good pairs. So thank you so much for whoever is joining right now. I greatly appreciate you taking your time and joining me every Monday to Friday. You know, I jump onto these live streams. It's exactly at 8:30 a.m. my local time. That's East African time. But if you're, let's say, using the New York time, that's exactly at 1:30 a.m. So every Monday to Friday, I get onto these live streams to be able to share what I believe the direction of the day is going to be like on the Euro USD. So let's talk about this risk to reward ratio versus the win rate. I know in the ideal world, we would like, in the ideal world, basically in the ideal world, we want to have a very high risk to reward ratio with a very high win rate, but this is not achievable. I know so many of those gurus that you follow, this is exactly what they sell to you. They tell you, with my strategy, you are going to have a 1 to 20 risk to reward ratio with a 70 or 80% win rate. But guys, this is not achievable. In the real world, it doesn't work that way. So in my opinion, I would suggest you actually have a balance between these two. You might find that most of the times a strategy that has a very high win rate will have a very low risk to reward ratio. So this is just common. You might find a strategy with maybe a 70, most of the times a strategy that has a very low win rate usually has a very high risk to reward ratio. So this is basically how things work. Or a strategy with a very high win rate, don't think you're always going to have everything from both worlds. It doesn't happen that way. So the best thing to do is for you to actually strike a balance between these two. For example, for me, my strategy actually has a 50 to 55% win rate with a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, with a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, and I'm very comfortable with this. I don't try to find more from this because I found this is very, very profitable. It is a very, I found this is a very profitable strategy for me, and I'm happy with it. I don't have to keep looking out there for more and more. I'm just happy with this, and basically this is what my advice to you would be. Try and find something that works best with you in terms of psychology, something that is manageable for you, because someone will tell you the strategy has a 1 to 20 or 1 to 30 risk to reward ratio, but your psychology can't hold through this. You can't stay in that trade if you've, let's say, taken maybe 8 losses in a row, and you're looking to that one trade to basically hold a 1 to 20. It's not possible, guys. So try and manage your psychology well. This way you'll be able to stay profitable in the market. So basically, that's my word of advice to you. Hope you take it. Even if you don't take it, I know it is something that you maybe have been asking yourself. So I believe this will enable you, clear all that air. It will enable you clear the air around this. So basically, that is it. And so for me, when it comes to the strategy I trade, as I've told you, it is a 50% win rate strategy with a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio. So what does this mean? This basically means that for every 10 trades that I take in the market or that I take using my strategy, at least I know 5 of those will be winners or they will end up as winners. So basically, this is how I trade, and I've traded this way for the longest time, guys. So understand that this is the same strategy I use to actually call these directions for the day, and I'm going to be sharing everything about this particular strategy right here on this live stream. So if you are out there and you maybe do not have a strategy to trade, definitely this is a profitable strategy that you're going to be taking home with you to basically be able to back test it well, because you obviously don't have to just take my word for it. You need to go back test it and see if it really works the way I say it works. So basically, that is it. So you need to go out there, back test this strategy, and make sure you have good data that actually backs it up for you to be able to trade the same way I trade. And before I even jump onto the charts, for me, there's usually some kind of routine I go through. And one of those things I do is actually check which kinds of fundamentals I'll be looking out for in the day. And when it comes to this, the website I use, it is a website called forexfactory.com. So on that website, they're able to share the economic calendar for the day. And for me, I actually filtered this website to only show me or share with me basically the red folder news events. If there are no red folder news events, then they won't show me. So just the way you see my screen right here. So when we look at today, the 13th of September, 2024, there is no red folder news event. So what does this mean? It means I'm able to hold my trades for the longest time as I want, because I will not be managing my trades, because most of the times you find yourself having to maybe move your stops to break even. That's how I do it. I like moving my stops to break even as these news or these red folder news events drop, because most of the times if you've made some profits, you don't want this news to drop and it wipes out everything you've made for the day. So for me, how I manage my trades, I like to move my stop to break even to be able to see if the trade goes in my favor, then I'm good with that. If it goes against me, because you realize that most of the times as these news events drop, most of the times the brokers that we use, they tend to actually add some slippage on our trades. So if you, let's say, predetermined to risk maybe 10 pips on that particular trade, they may end up slipping you maybe 10 pips more. So for you to avoid such scenarios, you need to manage your trades. You need to manage, for me, what I do is basically move my stop loss to break even. So even when this, the trade goes against me, I'm not losing as much as I would have earlier lost on that particular trade. So basically, this is how I do it, and it's how I've done it for the longest time, guys. So basically, this is also another word of advice. So if you are out there and maybe you don't know exactly how to, hold your trades through these news events, probably this is a tip that you might be able to take home with you for this day. And remember, guys, as well, if you happen to get some value from this particular live stream, please go ahead, give it a like. It's just a tap of a button, guys. So try and do that for us here on the channel. it really goes a long way. It helps the channel, it helps this very content reach more people out there like you yourself that would love to get, this kind of content. So when you tap that like button, it really helps us here on the channel. So basically, that is it. And maybe without any further ado, let me get onto the chart to show you exactly what I'll be looking at for today, the 13th of September 2024. So this is exactly what I'm going to be looking at. So maybe for the strategy, if you do not know the strategy that I trade, I'm someone who trades the London session. And when it comes to the strategy, I basically look out for price to actually do some things on the chart. So we are going to be getting into this right in detail. So do not worry, nothing to worry about. I'm going to be sharing everything about the strategy right here on the channel. So now when it comes to the strategy, it is a strategy that bases on the previous day's price action. Now, when we look at the previous day, which was the 12th of September 2024, this was the price action. It was a very bullish day. You can see right there. So now what happens, or what basically happens? So for me, what I like to do is basically look out for what I like to call areas of interest. So when I talk about area of interest, I basically mean either an order block or maybe a fair value gap, or this could also be equal highs or equal lows from the previous day. So now when we look at yesterday's price action, this is it on the 1 hour time frame. You can see right there. So we had an order block form right there, which led to this change of character as price was basically trying to push to the upside. So then when we can see there are some equal lows right there. And then obviously there are fair value gaps all over here. This is on the 1 hour time frame. So this is where I actually make my analysis. It is as simple as this, guys. And it is a strategy that gives you a 50% win rate. And if you actually learn this, because it is very simple, I believe even maybe a kindergarten child can learn this. So you can see it is as simple as this, guys. So what will I be looking out for today? So what I'm looking at is for price to actually take out or basically tap into these areas of interest. So we have an order block here. There is an order block right there. So when you look at the lower side, or basically when you look at the low for yesterday, which was right here at this level 1.10052, I believe it's 52, no 56 actually, 56. So that level right there, it was the low for the day yesterday, the 12th of September 2024. So what does this mean to us? So for me, what I basically look out for is for price, because you can see the equal lows right there. So what I'll be doing, I'll be waiting for price to actually, although this is a long shot, but anything can happen when it comes to price. Price can move in any way it wants to move. So for me, I'm someone who reacts off of what price has just done. So I don't predetermine to say price must move like this, like this, like this, like some of those influencers and gurus that you guys follow. They tend to tell you that maybe they make a weekly they can make a weekly forecast. On Sunday they get onto the chart, they show you that I expect price to move here on Monday, then Tuesday it will do this, Wednesday it will do this, Thursday it will do this, and finally on Friday this is what it will do. So I'm not those kinds of people. I only react to what price has done, and that's how I believe anyone should trade out there. So basically this is the level at 1.10055. That level, I'll be waiting for price in case it actually comes all the way, because this is what I expect, or this is what I would want, or this is what I would react off for any of the stops resting below here, because you can see they're equal lows right there. So if it takes out all those, then I'll be looking to actually, trade once price gets to that level. If that doesn't happen that way, another level that I'm intently looking at is this level to the upside right here. So let me try and zoom in so that I get to pinpoint this level. So let me try and mark it out very well. So yes, we have it right there. So the other level that I'm looking to actually react off of is this particular level up here. So another thing I'm looking at price doing is basically taking out these highs, out the high for yesterday. So we now looking at this level right here, because this is an order block. So I expect price to, come take out any of the stops that are resting above this particular order block. And then once price has taken those out, then I would expect it to reverse in this other opposite direction. So what do I expect, or what do I mean by this? So you can clearly see that this analysis has been done on the 1 hour time frame. So once price either gets to this level or this level during this London session that is just about to begin or just about to start, then what I'll be doing is basically dropping down to the 5-minute time frame for me to be able to take my entry. So for me, when it comes to entry, I make my entries or take my entries on the 5-minute time frame. And what do I look out for? So once price gets to any of these levels, either this level or this level, once price gets to that level or any of those levels, I drop down to the 5-minute time frame and I look out or wait for an inversion fair value gap to form. Now, what's an inversion fair value gap? An inversion fair value gap is basically, price covering or overlapping previously existing fair value gap. So, for example, if we have a bullish, for example, a bullish fair value gap and a bearish candle comes and closes that particular fair value gap, then I like to call this an inversion fair value gap. It's a common term used in the trading industry. So in case this is your first time hearing it, so basically that is it. For example, you can see this right here. Let me try and demonstrate to you what an inversion fair value gap is. So you can see there was a fair value gap right there. Let me try and mark this out very well for you. There was a fair value gap, and what did so this was a bullish. This was a bullish fair value gap right there. And then what did price do? You can see this big candle right here. This was the CPI candle. The other bearish candle came and closed or overlapped that particular fair value gap that was existing. So this overlapping candle right there is what I like to call an inversion fair value gap. So once I see this on the 5-minute time frame, when price has already taken out those levels that I've marked out, then I like to take my entry. This is basically how I make my entries. And when it comes to the stop loss, I use 10 pips as my stop loss, and the take profit is 30 pips in the market. So, but remember, for me, I like to squeeze this to a 1 to 4 to basically be able to make some extra profits from the market. So basically, this is how I trade, or this is what I'll be looking out for today, the 13th of September 2024. So once price does what I expect to do, then I'll react and trade, maybe trade what price would have given me. So basically, this is what I'm looking at for today. In case you're out there and you're wondering the kind of strategy I trade or how I call out these directions, this is exactly how I do it. And I'm telling you, I'm always right 50% of the times. If you are an ardent follower here on the channel, you know that most times I get these directions right. So if you're looking for a strategy to trade, definitely this is the strategy that you can take for yourself. I'm giving it away for free right here on the channel. So basically, this is it for today. And guys, remember to manage your risk right. Do not over risk on your trades. Don't live for today, guys. Don't only live for today. Remember, when you're trading, it is a long-term game. You're not only aiming for today. Don't try to account flip. Try and do things the right way, because through building these good habits, it is how you're going to stay long in the game. It is how you're going to enjoy your trading career. If you do not do things right, definitely your accounts will be blown and you'll be out of here in no time, I'm telling you. So basically, this is it. Don't over risk on your trades. Try and avoid those minor execution errors, like maybe instead of tapping buy, you tap sell. Try and avoid that. Pay good attention to detail as you're trading, because this is how you stay profitable in the market. So basically, this is it. In case you do have any questions for me, go ahead and leave those questions down in the comment section. I'll be ready to answer you guys back. And if you happen to have found some value from this live stream, please go ahead, leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and as well, if you have a friend there or maybe colleague that struggles with the daily bias or basically the daily direction, you can go ahead and share this live stream with them. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be catching you Monday, same time, right here on the channel. Have yourselves a good trading day.